Good Wednesday morning to you, and welcome to episode 12. Can you believe it? We're 12 into the year here. Just looking at the tangerine tree, realizing there's a lot here. We've decided we need to pretty much pick this thing clean, so that's going to be a project. Lemons are doing okay. The, why do I always forget? Valencia oranges. We'll deal with that, but that was the whole point of this whole project, getting the hosing up under there and the irrigation. And I can see where it was dripping in certain areas, and it's still kind of remaining soaked into the ground there. That's a good thing, I think, as they pick up the garbage across the street. Yeah, there were some issues, and I'm going to deal with those issues, but not today. I really, honestly, there's a part of me really wants to get up to the third level, but in general wants to get to planting seeds here and get that taken care of. But there are a number of other issues that need to be dealt with today, just to get a bunch of things off the list. So, yeah, let's just launch into it. Okay, first item. They finally started stocking the 3-inch chlorinating tablets that we use for the pool. There was a problem last year. The factory got taken down by a hurricane. At least that was my understanding of it, and all of a sudden the supply dried up, and we want a very specific brand because we've had problems with yellow algae in the pool in the past. We'll be dealing with that the next couple of weeks, but that's a bit at a time, not an all-day thing for 2 weeks. But now that we just purchased and received the tablets, we've got the old container and it's got a bunch of dust in it, so I'm going to put that in the chlorinator and stick that in the pool. That way we get some chlorine in the pool and we get rid of one bucket. Exciting, right? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, as long as we're over here dealing with these bins, what we also have in that middle bin there is the fertilizer for the hibiscus and the camellia, and for palms, and also for the citrus trees. So I'm going to dig a bunch of that stuff out, check the instructions, and start fertilizing. Alright, now that's everything fertilized, I believe, except for anything new going in. But if I remember things right now, the roses I gotta get every 6 weeks, so that puts it mid-April. The azaleas and, the azalea, the camellia, and the hibiscus are fall. And the citrus is every 12 weeks, so that's going to put us 3 months out. So April, May, June, mid-June, something like that, which is about the time that we're going to be supposedly picking the Valencia oranges. And I'm not sure about the palms because the packaging is really old and the instructions are kind of messed up, but I can look that up online. So that takes care of fertilizing just about everything. And I noticed the pool is pretty messy. I don't want to get into a full-blown vacuum, but I'm going to grab the brush and try and brush some of the stuff. I'm going to turn the pump back on with the filter to try and suck some of that stuff through the filter. We'll leave it on for a little bit, and then we'll start really dealing with it next week, but I'm going to try and get that going. Okay, well, that's all the little things taken care of except for one. I need to try and pick what I can off this tree, and I just watered up under there, so it's going to get a little muddy, but I'm going to try and do a decent job of at least pick like half of it off now, and then I can probably come back in 2 or 3 days. I'm probably going to end up juicing a bunch of it. Tangerine juice is actually pretty good, although I can't seem to convince the rest of my family of that. We'll see. I think we'll be getting together sometime soon anyway. But let me get cranking. Okay, well, the tree is now lighter by about 5 gallons. There's a couple of lemons in there just because they came off the tree, and I think I'm going to juice a ton of this. I'll throw a couple of lemons in there. It kind of makes a fruit juice. It's pretty good. And I'm going to take some of the better ones and throw them in a bag and give them to my neighbor. Other than that, I think that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Friday morning to you. I think today we're going to try and get up here to that 3rd level. I've been wanting to get down to the bottom level and do some building and this and that, and ultimately going to be transplanting some of the ground cover that I have here, the nasturtium. But that's all part of the bigger plan. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense to start at the top and work my way down in terms of putting things together, because if I start at the bottom, then I'm kind of climbing over what I did, and then I go to the next level and I'm climbing over that. More potential for damaging things, so I'm going to go ahead and go up above. I'm going to try and kind of level things out a little bit better than what I've got. You can see those pots are kind of leaning over. Then I've got these are the grow bags that I mentioned that I got as a gift a couple of years ago, or anyway, I got them a while back and I just haven't had a chance to use them. Now I think I do have a chance. I'm going to fill them up with soil. I may be pulling some of the soil from up there and sifting it. I got to kind of figure out what I'm doing when I get up there. But then putting that along with some of the compost I have in here and setting the bags up and then deciding what on earth I'm going to plant in them. But let's just get cranking. Not sure why, but I thought that was going to be harder than it was. I got things pretty well leveled out. It's not perfect, but it's close. Got all 5 bags filled with soil. I have to decide what I'm actually going to plant in them. I might need to move them around a little bit, but at least it's a start in terms of getting here. The problem is today I'm a little distracted because they started digging right next to the wall next door, so I keep going over and looking to see if they're actually tearing the wall down, which they're not allowed to do, but these contractors seem to be like, well, we'll just do what we want to do, and if they tell us we can't, then we'll pay whatever penalty. It's frustrating. They got a much bigger house than they should have, and it's, anyway. Yeah, so I'm distracted, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit here on this. I can go inside, clean up, and do a little bit more planning, figure out what my next step is. So that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Saturday morning to you. And yeah, now we're finally going to get to the middle and the lower level. We did the upper level yesterday, and I'm kind of back and forth on what order to do everything in. I was going to do the middle level before the low level so that I don't end up stepping over my own work. But I think the only way to really do this, I'm going to have to do both mid and lower at the same time. Now here's the basic plan. First I got to move a bunch of stuff out of the way that's just going to get in the way. Stuff that was previously back there by where the blue can is. I got to move that stuff back because I was working over there. I moved it over here. I got to anyway. Then as far as the garden itself, the thinking here is that along this edge here and on the other end, I'm going to put the nasturtium as a trap crop to basically attract the bad bugs away from the middle of the garden. Eventually I'm going to throw marigold in, probably against the wall here and against the wall there, and then up above against the wall. Trying to put it against the wall on the sort of inner part right here. That's going to be a little tricky because I need this sort of pathway to be able to walk along, and that then limits what I can put in. So if I can get my trap crop and my attractive crop, the marigolds, in, that's a real step in the right direction. That will encourage the good bugs and discourage the bad bugs. Also, I looked it up, and if the deer managed to come up along here, number one, that ground is kind of soft since I've been tossing it all up there loosely and it's not packed in, so it's going to be a little hard for them to move around. Plus, maybe those hoses will just look discouraging to them. But if they do manage to get all the way over here, they're going to encounter the nasturtium, which they don't really like, although as I read it, if a deer is hungry enough, they'll eat whatever. But that's the hope, is that nasturtium also keeps the deer out of the main garden. And then on this end, might keep the raccoons out, I don't know. I've also got to worry about various animals maybe chewing on the hoses, but that's one thing at a time. So I'm going to clear this stuff out of the way and then try and figure out if I need to transplant or if I can keep some of the plants where they are. I'm definitely going to need to do some transplanting, but that's the thinking. Let's get cranking. Okay, that was a bit more than I thought it would be. And I managed to hurt myself falling down. Fortunately, that wasn't on camera. This was kind of the goal. Well, I was hoping to do both levels all the way. I got this far. I transplanted some of the nasturtium over here. I built a little box here. I'm going to do another one on the other end. The idea here is that the soil is only just so deep, and when I tried to grow carrots last year, they were all kind of stunted. So I think it may be that I just need to have deeper soil. So this will add another 4 inches or so, just to have this little box, so I can plant some carrots or anything else that needs to get a little bit deeper. That, and I'm probably just going to throw some mesclun in there. Basically a variety of salad greens. And then I'm going to leave the existing plants that are here. I did pull one of the nasturtiums. I think I have enough. I'm not going to worry about the fact that I haven't. It's sitting over here. Just, you can already see it's kind of wilting. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I then ran out of dirt, so I had to be creative, and that's why I went over there and started digging around the fence, because ultimately I need to do that anyway. So that's my next place that I'm grabbing soil from, and probably need to shape that hill a little bit better, but that's the idea. I've kind of overdone it, so I'm going to go in, clean up, rest, and come back at it. Hopefully tomorrow. We may have some rain tonight. So that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Monday morning. I took yesterday off. Got a ton of stuff to do this week, but I want to try and finish this today, and if not today, tomorrow. I want to try and finish getting this main garden done. So that's going to entail, I need more soil over here, and I've decided I'm basically going to go up to that third level and carve out a little bit more from there. That should get me enough soil to get this taken care of, and another one down at the other end. Then it's a matter of transplanting and planting, and along those lines I bought 2 more. Let's see what we've got here. We have cayenne pepper. That should be interesting, but it sounds like the family's not interested in anything really hot. The bell peppers are fine. I also got, and forgive me, my Spanish chili de árbol. I looked them up, and it turns out that the chili de árbol is twice as hot as a jalapeno, and the cayenne is twice as hot as the chili de árbol. So they're going to be rather hot. Family's not terribly interested. We do know some people that enjoy hot peppers. So I think what I'm going to do is those are going to go up actually up along the border. You'll see it when I go to time lapse. It'll eventually end up there to the left of the path as I'm going up. That way it becomes kind of a barrier plant if a deer should happen to come up behind the green garbage can, which they've done in the past, walk along all of this, which is nice and soft, which is going to make it hard for them. But if they make it this far, then there'll be something for them to graze on and then get a nasty surprise. So hopefully that'll be enough to deter them, or maybe they even just smell it. I don't know. But that leaves me with the other 2. They're going to go into the grow bags up there. I also want to top off the grow bags a little bit more than I did. So all of that in the plan, all of this planting, so much to do. Let's just get cranking. Okay, so I guess my camera decided to take a break before I did. I did manage to get up. I got all of that sort of taken care of. The plants that I bought have been planted. I'm just going to do this from down below. So I've got 2 plants in those 2 bags. I got 3 bags ready to go. And I took the 2 peppers and I put them up there. I actually kind of formed a better version of a shelf up there and put both of them up actually in progressively hotter and hotter. So the further they get, the more they chomp, the hotter it gets. You know, it really wasn't a problem last year, but I just kind of thought the plants were cool when I bought them. But if nobody else, you know, we've got family friends who might be interested, so I'll grow them. We'll see what we get out of it. It's not a huge thing. It cost me like $1.50 each. So what remains, still quite a bit to do. I got to pull all of this ground cover out, all of this nasturtium, and trying to figure out kind of how to preserve it, because I've got sort of a patch here. It's not looking real healthy, but I want to save a few of the plants. That way, if these just die off, I can plant some new ones, or one good healthy one. I've got a bunch over here I planted yesterday. It looks like it's still alive. It could be in a little better condition. This up there is already there. I'm just thinking the original plan was like 6 or 8 inches worth of the bed going left to right, or right to left in this case. But maybe I'll just leave that as is. I'll move the paver over a little bit so I've got a bit of a barrier. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it as is. I think I was trying to get 3 planting areas up here. Well, I really do. I've got 1, 2 with the onion in it, and a 3rd over here with no paver separating. So all I really need to do now is get 1 good plant out of this and plant it there for a barrier. Well, okay, maybe I could plant a little more up there and another one way over there. And I've noticed that the drip system has attracted birds. Tried to capture that after the last bit of video, but yeah, it's gonna be a little hard to see them. I'll see if I can do a better job. Anyway, back to this. Okay, goal achieved. It's been a bit of work to get it all done, but upper and lower are pretty much ready to go. Cleared out around that onion, which, yeah, I'm going to leave the Swiss chard and the onions there. And I've got 1, 2 raised beds inside the bed. Probably need to move my tomato back over, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I want to get some water on some of these. And then in the backyard, I put a couple of different containers with a bunch of nasturtium. I want to get water on those just in case I need them. But, you know, I've got one on this corner, that corner, that corner, that corner. I could do the up above, but I'm going to call it quits for today. It's been quite a bit of work. Yeah, that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. So close. I am so close. I have finished planting, and if I can reach into my pocket and find it now. Which pocket? I made up a bunch of tags for the plants. So, apologies, I'm not feeling so well. I'm going to try and get this done just so I know it's done, and then I'll take a break. But yeah, I'm going to try and get all this planted. Let's just get to it. Okay, before I forget what I've done, I did make plant tags, but I forgot about the raised beds within the beds, and those were mainly supposed to be for salad greens and carrots and radishes. So let's document what we've done here. In this first one, I put, let's see, yeah, let's start with at the front. I've got okay, sorry about bumping you there. Mesclun in both of these, just sort of spread out throughout. And then, because I had so much and I didn't realize I had so much, there are 3 rows of other plants kind of mixed in. So, atomic red carrots right here at the front. And we've got Danvers carrots in the middle. And on both of them, I bought Easter egg radish, and so that's at the back of both of them. That takes care of that. Let me get that into an appropriate bag where I keep track of everything. Then, like I said, mesclun broadcast throughout both. And in this one, the Easter egg in the back, a French breakfast radish in the middle, and Scarlet Nantes carrots in the front. So we'll watch that, and between that and the stuff actually just to the left here, I've got some Swiss chard already growing there. I've also got some onions that I don't really care about, but the family does, so okay. And off to that side, I've got the nasturtium. So I got plenty of nasturtium. I'm using it as a trap crop, so if they get infested with bugs, I won't be eating it, but that was the idea with that. So that takes care of those. Now I'm going to try and take care of the regular plantings within the bottom row. Okay, I do believe that's it. Just a review for myself as well as to let you know what I've got here. Up on the top row in this spot here, I've got spinach, and that spinach, turns out I had two of them. So that is one from Seeds and Such, hybrid spinach lakeside. I'll make a better tag for that one. And then also in there is a straight neck squash. Moving over, carefully trying to avoid all the other stuff here. The 8-ball zucchini, I've got a plant there. I actually tried planting early on. And on top of that, since I had a second type of spinach, I now have the giant noble spinach, which came with last year's set of 43, I think it was, different seeds. So it's probably still viable, but basically I'm putting two things in each space so that if only one of them takes, then I'll be okay. Also with the squash, I'm planting 2 seeds. Moving over, we've got, oh, that's right, I still got to plant that, but I'll get it. I've got the patty pan and yard-long beans. I need to get the yard-long and put them in there. I'll find them. Then, down below, we've got a contender bush bean. I thought about putting a second item in there. I'll figure that out later. For now, I wanted to get the bush bean in there because that was another seedling that I started. Not much of what I planted back in January survived, so I'm hoping that one will survive. Otherwise, I've still got seeds I can plant. I've got enough stuff that's going to start to grow. So if something fails, all right, we'll deal with it. Moving over, we've got in this section here, we've got a new cucumber. It is a Space Master. It's a bush habit cucumber because the cucumbers went completely crazy last year. And I planted dill in there so I can actually pickle my cucumbers. Other than that, I think that's it. I think we're actually done, folks. I think I finally have it all planted out. I need to clean all this stuff up, but you're not going to care to watch all that. I'm a happy camper having it all planted. Oh, I almost forgot. You saw me do it. I moved the red onion up there. And one thing on the red onion, when I looked it up in terms of companion plants, the zucchini is okay, but beans are to be avoided when it comes to onions. So no beans in there, but there will be beans right over here. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the main garden. Thank you so much for watching. Let's see what tomorrow brings. And before I leave completely, a few things that are coming up here. I've got some more of the electronic stuff for those that are interested in that coming up on the channel soon. I've also got the garden in the back. I still haven't done that. And on top of that, I've got a couple of other projects that you may find somewhat interesting. With that, take care of yourself, take care of the ones around you, and may your thumb be green.